Listener Brangers, welcome to the Geek Chest. My name's Steve.
Hey, my name's Arnaz.
And today we thought we'd do a fun little video of my top 10 favorite Jurassic Park figures that we currently own. This would be like Jurassic Park, Lost World, Jurassic Park 3, Jurassic World, and Fallen Kingdom figures. Ranging from Hasbro to...
So it's a mixture.
Whatever. My brain farted Mattel. Like, pretty much all the vintage throughout. Some of these figures will be just ones that I really enjoyed, especially growing up as a kid. I got fond memories of. And some of these are just figures I just really enjoyed, especially nowadays. So, anyways, for number 10, it's not this guy. Mainly just had him here just so we can have it here. This guy is actually my number 10. Alright, so you may be asking yourself, but Steve, the Jurassic World figures all suck horribly. Why would you put the blue figure with the rocket launcher as your number 10? Well,
You just answered your own question.
yeah, it's blue with a gun. Like, out of like everything that came out for Jurassic World, I don't know why, but this is just the one I like enjoyed the most because it was one of the ones like when we were shopping randomly getting stuff like with the Indominus, some of the Raptors and whatnot, the sets. This guy I just kind of bought because he just looked cool in the package. Like, it was just like, got blue, it shoots things. It's awesome. Granted, the pose is dumb. Like, it's literally like looking up all the time.
Even the gimmick kind of sucks on it.
And even like you'd have to have it bending down. So it's like, it looks like it's trying to fart at somebody. And then you just aim the gun essentially. Yeah, it's not the most practical figure, not the best pose figure. It's got the little gimmick here for the tail. But as a total package,
It looks cool.
I enjoyed it. Probably would have loved the crap out of this when I was a kid. Alright, next, for number 9. I was going to grab the original, but this one's in a little bit better shape, so we decided to use this one for the reference. But what this is the Lost World Baby T-Rex with battle damage. Which, what you could do is on the side here. It might be kind of hard because this one's like, I don't think has really been messed around with too much. But you see when you pop the side off, show some guts and bones.
Oh, that looks painful.
Yeah, I always thought this was like the coolest figure when I was a kid. And easily, out of most of my Jurassic Park stuff, probably got the most play because of this. So this little T-Rex was like the one that was always getting attacked by the Velociraptors and what have you. And then I probably would have gave it a couple of weeks, and then this thing was gone.
Yeah.
Like, I know the one I had is missing it. I'm pretty sure the one that Jessica has, which is the one we have displayed, is also missing it as well. So, also not the easiest thing to get back in. I'm just now realizing.
So now you have 3 that are missing.
Anyways. Also, like, we squeeze the neck, you could get the mouth to open and stuff. And they were just like, they were cool. They were like a nice option if you couldn't get a hold of the big T-Rexes. Which I had quite a bit of, at least the first movie ones growing up. But like Jurassic World later on, my parents still like to buy me toys as much, so those ones I had to pay money for. And I think at that time I was buying more Star Wars stuff. So never really got back into collecting Jurassic Park stuff until I met my wife. Just like number 8 with the original Jurassic Park electronic Velociraptor. This one, none of them actually have the batteries in it, but when you would rear it back, as you can see, the arms would open up and it would screech. Most of my Jurassic Park stuff ended up just being, I don't know, kind of fodder for my Godzilla figures. Like the Godzilla figures would end up fighting the dinosaurs. Especially once I lost, like, most of the pieces for the compound.
Battle damage, baby.
These guys just, like, would, be, like, honorary kaijus. Especially after playing that video game. Whoa, what the heck was it? Primal Instinct? Like...
Yeah.
They had the Velociraptor. Yeah, like Talon that was fighting like giant monsters. So this guy was just cooler because he was like electronic and looked pretty gnarly. Not quite accurate to what you've seen in the movies. Like, especially with the color scheme, with it being this yellow and maroon color. But what's nice about this coloring, it does contrast very well. So it's very eye-catching on the shelf. And it's not like the most posable of the Jurassic Park stuff. But for like older figures, especially with it being smaller and electronic, I always had a blast playing with this thing. Just like this guy, who's literally a blast. I probably should have grabbed some water. This one is Site B. Pretty sure it's Site B. Again, the one I had growing up was the original Jurassic Park one. We don't actually have that one anymore. But we have this Site B version. Also, it came with the fan on the sides of the heads. But
Pretty much the opened version.
yeah, you just kind of like slot it over top. It's somewhere. I couldn't find it for the recording of this video because we used it for that gyrus for one of the skits.
Ah.
I'm pretty sure that was from him. But what the gimmick was is that if you had like a cup of water, you could stick his head in the water. You'd squeeze the side and it would suck in the water and then you could squirt.
It was a bath toy for me.
Yeah, essentially. Because every time I would try to play this with this thing outside of the bath, I always got yelled at because it just made like a wet mess all over the carpet everywhere. But again, this guy was like another thing that would end up fighting like my giant monsters things. Plus, it was like he had a beam that literally shot out of him. I wish the eyes were a little bit better looking on this one. The paint's starting to go a little bit on him. That's kind of, the main reason why we actually decided to do this video is all of the Jurassic Park stuff's finally displayed at my place. So these guys aren't in tubs anymore.
So there'll be more videos coming out of certain lists, hopefully.
In the near future. For number 6, we're finally into some new action figures. Well, new. With the Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom Carnotaurus. Hopefully I said that right. I think I say his name wrong every time in the video. Or she. Could be a she. I don't know.
It. God, Steve.
Anyways, had this little gimmick where it jives. which is super cool. But growing up, I always had an appreciation for this dinosaur. And it was great to see like an actual like good looking action figure of this dinosaur. Even got the tiny little arms.
My favorite thing just because of the arms.
Which aren't quite accurate. Like, they should be, like, hanging off the sides of them. Like, this almost looks like you could kind of use these baby arms for something.
It reminds me of somebody I work with.
Well, we used to work with. She doesn't work with us anymore. He's sort of like he laughs. Like, it's not easy to do. But you also get, like, some tail articulation out of this guy. Like, what was cool about the new ones out of the Mattel figures is that, like, they're compared to, like, the old stuff, they're very articulated.
Yeah.
And especially for the price. Like, even, like, the molding. Like, I'm actually starting to repaint these guys. Starting with the T-Rex, we'll see how it goes from there. This one's, like, almost perfect. Like, I wouldn't really want to mess with something like this. The T-Rex is like the one I'm doing is there's varying stuff you could do with this, but for the most part, like this guy's paint job is like pretty spot on, and easily why it makes it onto the list. Like even the teeth look nice.
It's got great details for the price they came at.
Yeah, I want to say he was like about $20, somewhere around there. For number 5, this guy fought all the kaijus. All of them. And it was also like my favoriteest dinosaur for the longest time, which is the Jurassic Park Dimetrodon.
He looks like he should be in the Ultraman monster or something like that.
Something. There was one of the dinosaurs. We have it. I was going to actually put it on the list because of my appreciation for giant monsters. Because it literally looks like Reptilicus. Forget the dinosaur's name, so I didn't want to look it up, so it's not on the list. It probably wouldn't, like thinking about it now, compared to the rest of the stuff, it would have maybe been like number 11. So it would have been like an honorable mention anyways. But you can listen in the comment section below if you guys know which dinosaur I'm talking about.
Alright, explain to me, what's wrong with his foot? Why is it backwards?
I don't know. That's just kind of like how this one is. Because as you can see, like the rest of them are going forward. But for reasons, the gimmick one for the jaw is backwards. It might be just so you can like grab onto it easier.
You represent cripples like me. Yeah.
I know, right? But I always thought it was like cool, just like how giant you can get his mouth open. Sail looks really nice on him, like especially for like original Jurassic Park. Like the color variety on this guy is actually really solid, and even the detailing on like the side here
Looks
too.
Like Prego.
A little bit. Well,
She,
like the first one, they would have pretty much been all she's.
Yeah, that is true. It's all females.
You know, but even like you get some different detailing on the inside of the mouth here too, with a really nice paint job. That has always like impressed me with how much effort they put into this figure. Plus how like perfect this thing was to, again, like you said, like fight like Power Rangers, Kaijus, Ultraman figures, you name it. This guy did
variety. He can fight everyone.
And everything. For number 4, we have the Thresher T-Rex from the Lost World Jurassic Park. This particular version of the T-Rex was pretty much done to death. But my personal favorite is this one because of the whole cage thing that they had going on for it.
He comes with a lot. He just can't stand by himself.
Yeah, like it's easily the worst one standing. Like we have the original, we have this one, we have the Chaos Effects one. Those ones stand pretty well by himself, but this guy's joints just aren't holding up the way they used to. Plus you can see like the paint job. Like this guy's been played with. Like this is out of my wife's childhood. But I always really liked this one. Especially like...
Put great details into it.
Yeah, it's got like a decent amount. Like plus when you break the cage off, it had sound effects. It sort of feels like skin. Like it has this more realistic feel to it. Plus like the detail like on the inside of the mouth looks really cool too. Eyes look nice. Like to be honest, like the eyes on this thing look better than most of what we get out of the new Fallen Kingdom stuff because you get a little bit of added depth, which is weird, right? But feet look cool too, and then like when you smash it down, it makes sounds too. And yeah, just had a lot of play out of this too. But this one was like, out of all the Jurassic Park stuff playing Jurassic Park, the T-Rex got the most abuse out of mine. Which, growing up, I had the original. Mine eventually had the very common problem if it lost its arm. We still have that one.
Really?
Yep. It's actually sitting with the vehicles currently. Because we got a hold of another one that had both the arms for pretty cheap. So we just went with that because I think what was it? We found it like in a Facebook swap thing. Where the person was just getting rid of like selling dinosaurs for like $50. It was like a giant tub, and we seen the Thresher in the box in the tub. And like it has both arms. We're buying it. I don't care if it doesn't even work. And the fun thing is, the electronics were still good.
Hey,
so
can't argue with that.
Yeah, I was just like, man, I was like, before I even like get into what else is in the bag, I already made $50. Like it was just like one of those good deals. But yeah, no, super sweet T-Rex. Alright, so for number 3, we have the Fallen Kingdom Mosasaur. I always really liked the aquatic dinosaurs growing up. Like, I thought they were cool. Plesiosaur is my favorite out of the bunch. But the Mosasaur is pretty high up there, too, because it's sort of like an alligator whale shark thing.
It is exactly how you explain it.
Which is awesome. Plus, this one's actually detailed really nicely. I was very impressed when this guy first came out. It even has like the same kind of like skin feel that you got with like some of the older ones, just like the Thresher that we just previously did. Plus, growing up, Steve would have loved this thing. This thing would have like, anytime when I went to the pool, this guy would have went with me. Every time I went to a pond, this guy would have went with me. I probably would have lost it somewhere.
Yeah, growing
been super
up,
sad.
This would have been the greatest thing ever.
Yeah, like every bath time, it would have been this guy and the Imperial Godzilla. I'll say the Imperial Godzilla's probably seen me naked more than anybody else. Next to my wife, it's been blinded. But anyways, super sweet figure. There isn't like much to really do with it, which is kind of sad because it is an aquatic dinosaur. So like I feel like you almost have to like hang it up somewhere to make it kind of look like it's swimming. But for the most part, we just have it sitting. There is the version we have still in the box that it is the Fallen Kingdom version, like officially, where...
What's the difference?
It came with the Indominus skull, or skeleton.
Oh, so it's not like actual difference.
Yeah, it was more like a play set, but you get the Mosasaur with that too. This one here in particular is just the standard version, which is still awesome, and one of the first reviews we did for Fallen Kingdom, and still one of my favorites.
He stands by himself. That's not fair.
Weird, right? Because look at his feet. But this is the Lost World Bull T-Rex.
It's got chicken feet.
This was my number 1 forever because it ate things. Like, and the best thing too is it ate things because they had like a shark cage thing with some terrified looking Asian dude on the inside. Or just terrified dude in general. I don't know why. It's just like through the cage, he kind of looked Asian.
I remember.
I guess not. He just looks like a nerd.
I stuffed mine like so much, Steve, that I lost toys for weeks inside of him and didn't even know they were in there.
Oh yeah, he just like if he could swallow it,
it was in there.
Yeah, like he gorged on it.
I got upset for weeks because I couldn't find half of my toys, and then I would clean him out, and I'd be like, "Oh, there he is."
Yeah, there's somewhere in that slit in his stomach. But yeah, no, I was just like, outside of the Thresher, this one, when I finally got a hold of this one with because having a few Lost World ones, like this is one of the ones I got a hold of.
Yeah,
and it's just like the Ultimate '98 Godzilla. Same thing. Like that guy could eat stuff too. And that's easily one of my favorite Godzilla toys. And sort of the same logic with this guy too. It's just like if he could swallow something, it's like #1 in my heart.
I really liked his eyes though growing up.
Yeah, the eyes are cool too because they're actually like
they look like
they're translucent. Like it almost has more of like a realistic quality to it than you get with just like a standard toy. Now, if he wasn't like so like deformed, like especially with the tail, which is a pretty common thing, because just the way it sets over time, especially with this having like the bendy wire in it, it just kind of flexes weird. Like as you can see too with the legs, because all this is soft, and then you have like this one hard section. This one has batteries in it.
Oh, go Steve!
Why did it go off when I spread his legs?
This one has batteries too.
Yeah, okay, the new ones, I never took the batteries out. I thought this one didn't either, but okay, cool. Moving on to #1, as you heard in the background. Alright, so for #1, won't be able to move things around, and you can kind of see part of the end of my table right there. So, sorry in advance. But this is the Colossal T-Rex from Fallen Kingdom.
He really is colossal, holy crap.
Yeah, I could kind of maybe work it a little bit so you guys can see it a little better. But easily my new #1. Uh-oh.
No, Steve, no.
He's starting to tip a bit. I might have to get up for this one. Stop moving the back of your leg, T-Rex. Just slide. Alright, cool. Anyways, it's essentially like the Bull T-Rex where it can swallow things. So, again, I always really like that gimmick growing up. It's almost as good as light-up gimmicks.
God, can you imagine having, when we were younger, having this massive dinosaur that could eat stuff? That would have been, like, the greatest thing ever.
Yeah, it's not even, like, say, like, with the Jack-specific Godzilla, I would have loved the crap out of that thing. And that thing doesn't even look that great.
Yeah.
It's just massive and cool. Well, this thing's, like, massive, cool, and it looks like the T-Rex.
Eats things.
And it eats things. It's articulated. He stands perfectly fine by himself. Or she. Probably should be saying she for this one. It's got some... This is the Walmart exclusive where it has some of the damage on it.
Man, he would have ate the whole army package. The whole bucket of Toy Story Army guys. He would have ate them all.
Right. This thing probably would have ate like Star Wars toys growing up with me.
Oh, that's just it too. Star
Power
Wars,
Rangers.
Legos. Everything would be in there.
God, Gridman. Like the possibilities are endless. And yeah, it's just like the one dinosaur in my collection I proudly like display in front of everything else.
He's just sitting there because he deserves that spot.
Yeah, because usually it's like the statues are the ones that are like I have like predominant, like they're usually like the focal points whenever you walk through my stuff. But this thing like just kind of takes the cake in terms of just size, detailing, articulation, what it does, like
play
even
value.
Yeah, play value. Like this thing just like has it all. But what do you guys think? What was your favorite Jurassic Park figure growing up, or what's your guys' top 10s? Let us know in the comment section below. And help us defeat those kaijus by hitting that like button, subscribe, become a Ranger today. I'll see you guys in the next video.
Bye-bye.